From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
All right, who's ready to play some ball? It is opening day for baseball season 2026.
Oh, give us a Rat's Ass.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. Hope you got your jock on, too. From the Mojo Dojo by Malibu Lake, which means I'm working from home today. Who's ready to take off on another tantalizing, action-packed adventure?
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. Was Nancy Pelosi behind J6? We'll explore the possibility. I've got more proof that California is just one big clusterfuck. Yeah, like you need more, right? We have people running our government today who have no idea how to get a birth certificate, and I'll solve their problem for them in less than 15 seconds. Oh, you watch me work it out. And are you ready for the boogeyman? Because he's coming for you, and I've got proof. Plus another round of head traumas on the way. What do you say we play a round of secret sound today? We haven't done that one in a while. Plus, our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including What Say You and Mojo's Plug-In Funny. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Thursday, March 26th. Thanks for showing up. We have a big story breaking this morning, man. My God, Meta, the company behind Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Threads, along with YouTube, man, they got nailed with some hefty judgments for their addictive practices targeting kids. Yeah, they're going to pay some big buckaroonies here. I have a feeling, though, when all this is said and done, we're going to see a lot of changes to social media for all of us on these platforms in the near future. All right, my producer, Fleabag, and I have to congratulate our compadre in crime, even though it was a short adventure, the one we affectionately call Puddin'. He resigned yesterday because he wants to go drive the boo-boo bus. He got the call he's been waiting for. He's been waiting for it for like 3 months, but they finally called him and said, hey, want to drive the boo-boo bus? So he's off to become an L.A. County EMT. Yeah, good dude, great sense of humor. We're going to miss him around here, but you couldn't be prouder of him because he selected a career with noble intentions and probably can't get replaced by AI, right? But it's back to Fleabag and me along with Alexa and some help from AI for a while anyway. But let's get into the wrap today. All right, I really opened a can of worms the other day on X when I shared my theory about Nancy Pelosi being the architect behind J6. Oh, you fire up the Democrats and the liberals every time you say that they did it. Oh, they come at you with every filth, floor, and filth name, all the way up until they finally get to call you a racist, and then they run away. That's what they do. You're a racist. Then they disappear on you. But here's why I suspect it was Nancy Pelosi with help from the deep state and the uniparty of Republicans known as rhinos. Nancy Pelosi once laid out the tactics that she used for creating a smear campaign. Have you heard this?
You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
Yeah, just a tactic. Just fun and games in D.C. That's all it is. But when you consider Nancy Pelosi's behavior during Trump's first term, okay, she pushed for the impeachments. Then she ripped up the State of the Union address back in 2019. Remember that in front of the whole country? Also being caught on camera saying that she'd love to punch Trump in the face. Remember that? To me, that kind of leads to motive. And what happened after J6? The wrap-up smear started. Immediately, with the help of the media, the Democrats started pounding the narrative that Trump started an insurrection. And they pounded that narrative nonstop with the idea that if you tell a lie long and hard enough, people will eventually start to believe it. That's what they do. They count on stupid people. And of course, they had the media behind them. The Trump haters jumped on the bandwagon. They were off and running. The big cover-up. Then there was the video of Pelosi saying she made a mistake by not taking Trump up on his offer for more law enforcement at the Capitol on J6. And since she's denied saying that, despite the fact that there's video proof that she did, her daughter did the video. I'm sure they probably scrubbed it by now, but she did. A lot of us saw it. But that screams guilty to me. All of this leading up to this, all screams she was behind J6. Now consider all the bullshit the Democrats put Trump through leading up to the 2024 election. They tried to keep him off the ballot in blue states. They tried to bankrupt him. They kept him in court so he couldn't campaign. They demonized him. Even after he got shot, they said they would back off, but they didn't. They went harder. That's what the Democrats do. Yeah, I firmly believe Nancy Pelosi was your J6 party planner. With the help of the deep state, because they had a lot to lose here. along with your uniparty Republicans, the rhinos. I would bet all three of my gonads on it. Okay, but that's my theory. And I'll add this to my theory. Nancy Pelosi's ego. I think she wants the world to know that she was behind it all. I think it eats at her every damn day that she can't go on 60 Minutes and announce to the world that she's always been the smartest person in the room in D.C., but she can't. Remember her husband getting attacked? Yeah, that story's a little bogus to me. My guess is it was the deep state sending a message saying, you know, Nancy, if you spill the beans on this, this is how easy it is to get to you. Maybe we'll find out after she passes what really, really happened. Because I know Nancy Pelosi wants the notoriety. She wants to be known as Notorious Nancy. Smarter, more cunning, and more devious than any other politician in D.C. Oh, that ego's a big one. Prove me wrong now. Prove me wrong. I'm going to wrap up the smear by asking you this question, too. Do you honestly believe Joe Shit-for-Brains Biden, who had lost a run for president twice before, actually received more than 81 million votes, over 13 million more than any other previous president? Yeah, you know what happens when you pull my middle leg, right? Grab a hold and just give it a yank. You crazy people if you think that the J6 was done by DJT. Yeah. So come at me now with that one. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Call me all your filth and floor and filth names. I thrive on it. All right, we have an election coming up in June to decide who the two candidates for governor will be here in California. And there's supposed to be a debate about this week at USC between the top qualified candidates that featured 2 Republicans and 3 Democrats, by the way. But USC, where it was going to be held, they canceled the debate because a bunch of low-hanging dingleberries who didn't meet the qualifications for the debate started screaming racism because it was all white people at the top. Forget the fact that Californians being polled for this debate were white people, and that's who they wanted. They didn't want the other Democratic dipshits. But here we go again. Jump up and scream racism, and everybody runs with their tail between their legs. Yeah, but there is another theory behind this. It was the Democrats playing their horseshit games because 2 Republicans were leading in the polls, so they wanted to create their usual chaos to get voters confused and hopefully pulling them to the Democratic side. But 2 things here. The Democrats have ruled California for the past 16 years. Gavin Newsom has done more damage to California in less than 8 years than all 39 previous governors combined. Okay, I've lived here for 40 years, so I know the bullshit that's going down in this state. So enough with the Democrats. We keep electing the same damn Democrats over and over again to fix problems that they created. That is the definition of insanity. I think people here are finally picking up on this. So we are saying off with their freaking heads. Yeah, not literally, but as a figure of speech. Now, second, when are we going to stop putting up with the racist temper tantrums? So the losers get what they want. They scream racism, everybody tucks their tail and goes, "Oh, I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist." And they do it just to get what they want. But at some point, we have to put a pacifier in their mouths and say, go have a seat. Okay, go have a seat. Okay, it really muddies the water of what, real racism is. It's like the boy who screamed wolf. All right, how do you feel about Democrats telling you how to live your life when they can't even figure out how to locate their damn birth certificates in order to vote? So let me solve this issue for these idiots real frickin' quick. Okay, anybody, including the Democrats, anybody that is a Democrat or a liberal, you can get them at your state or county where you were born at the Vital Records Department. That easy. You can Google it. Done deal. Done deal. So you don't think the boogeyman is here, huh? Here in the United States, you don't think he's here to make you his bitch? Well, listen to the boogeyman who warned Trump this. Check this one out.
He wants to put a Muslim ban. He wants to ban Muslims. We will tell him, this isn't your country to ban. This is the land of Allah, as every land is the land of Allah. And there are Muslims here that are going to be here. And if you don't like it, I would suggest he goes somewhere else. But I don't know where he's going to go. If he goes back to Europe, a lot of Muslims in Europe, I've been there recently. You go to Africa, you go to South America, you go to China, you go to Malaysia, you go to Japan, you go to the Antarctic, there's Muslims. So I would make a suggestion. If he wants to go somewhere where there is no Muslims, I suggest he goes to hell. And know that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us the glad tidings that this religion of Islam will enter every household. Every household. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Sahih Hadith, he told us, this ummah, the guarantee, this ummah who will be victorious, and those that try to overcome them will not be able to.
Mm-hmm. The boogeyman's coming. The boogeyman is here. 48 mosques in 2 years in Texas. Mm-hmm. You're watching what's happening in New York City, right? Wait a minute. We renamed it New York Shitty. I'll tell you what, though. These Muslims better not show up at my front door because they'll meet Mo, Larry, and Curly. And trust me, nobody wants to meet Curly because afterwards, that's when we throw some shimp on the bobby. All right, one of these things that I've always done is to kind of listen to people with more experience than me. You know, they have more experience, more wisdom than me because they've been there, they've done that, right? Now, I avoided a lot of mistakes personally and professionally because of these folks by having enough sense to listen to their experience over those who've never done shit but think they have all the answers. On today's What Say You, here's an example of what I mean.
I know I shouldn't have done this. I am 83 years old. I was up in the McDonald's drive-thru this morning. The young lady behind me leaned on her horn and started mouthing some ugly things because I was taking too long to place my order. So when I got to the first window, I paid for her order along with my own. The cashier must have told her what I had done because as we moved up, she leaned out her window and waved to me. She began mouthing, thank you, probably feeling embarrassed that I had repaid her rudeness with kindness. When I got to the second window, I showed the server both receipts and I took her food too. Now she has to go back to the end and start all over again. Don't blow your horn at old people. We've been around for a long time.
I love that.
Here he is to call the balls and strikes. Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
Oh, it's a big day today. But first, the NBA voted formally to explore expansion to Seattle and Las Vegas, targeting the 2028-29 season. The problem is that'll give the Western Conference 2 more teams than the Eastern Conference, so if they want to be balanced, they'll have to move one team from the West to the East, and the team that's furthest east from Las Vegas is Memphis, the Grizzlies. I don't think we'd miss Memphis in the West, do you? Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, baseball season 2026 has arrived. Oh, I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. You guys know I'm a big Cincinnati Reds fan. I got 162 Reds games in front of me to take in. Oh, I can't wait. And they play the Red Sox today to open up the season. Except, of course, when they're blacked out here in L.A., or they play the games now on Netflix. I think there's some on Prime. There might be some on NBC Sports. So, I get all those networks, so I'll get to see all 162. Yeah, I've planned for it this year. Last year, I missed 6 games. But here in L.A., sometimes they black them out when they're playing the Dodgers. So I'll go see the Reds play if it's a day game here in L.A. But cold day in hell before I take my sexy white ass to Dodger Stadium at night. I mean, the stadium's fine when you're there. It's just the areas you have to drive through to get to Dodger Stadium at night. And if your car decides to take a nap, you just don't want to be there. That's when it becomes a risk versus reward situation. So on those nights, may miss those games. But like I said, the Reds open up against the Red Sox today. They beat them back in '75 in the World Series, one of the best World Series ever played. But 51 years later, there's no real rivalry between these two teams. But I got to tell you, I was high on the Reds when spring training opened up. But now they got 2 starting pitchers out of their 5 aces dealing with injuries. Hunter Green's going to be gone for a while, and Nick Lodolo's back with his blister problem that he had last year that cost him like half the season. So, man, if these 2 guys could just stay on the frickin' field, my God. But in the offseason, the Reds went out and got an old friend, Eugenio Suarez. He's a home runner, strikeout kind of guy. They added a few nice utility pieces, but They're going up against Milwaukee, Chicago. St. Louis always puts a competitive team on the field. The word is the Pirates are vastly improved this year, and they got Paul Skeens. He's a hell of a pitcher. So I'm not sold the Reds are going to be a playoff team again this year. They have too many what I call what-ifs. And that's like, what if Matt McLain plays like he did in 2024? What if Ellie De La Cruz finally lives up to his potential? What if Novi Marte has a breakout season? What if Sal Stewart plays like Rookie of the Year? What if? When you have so many what ifs, you can't really count on that being a playoff team. Now, if the Reds they're within striking distance of winning the division or maybe making the playoffs before the trade deadline, they may go out and make a trade for a difference maker. But outside of that, I think the Reds are who they're going to be this year for the first 110 games. So let's just suck it up and go play some ball.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, we haven't done the secret sound in quite a long time, and I think it was because we just ran out of sounds. How can you do that? Well, I found this one. What do you think that sound is? Does it sound familiar? All right, maul that puppy around a little bit, and we'll have the answer for you coming up.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Oh, yes, it is. It is time for Mojo's Fucking Funny. How about some comedy with your reality from the GOAT, George Carlin?
And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're going to save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. Tired. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just a-floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
All right, Vince Vaughn, one of my all-time favorite actors, probably ended his acting career when he criticized late-night TV for having a left-wing political agenda. No, they don't have one of those, Vince. But he said appearing on late-night TV was like having to take a course in school that you don't want to take. So, if you've been looking forward to Wedding Crashers Part 2, I wouldn't count on it if I were you. All right, dipshit Jimmy Kimmel has done it again. He's facing backlash for making fun of new DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin for formerly being a lowly MMA fighter. Yeah, get in the ring with him, Jimmy. And he was also a plumber at one time. So Jimmy's looking down his nose. Yeah, this from a wimpy, low IQ liberal dumbass who couldn't get a job sucking cesspools if he wasn't good at licking the sweaty balls of ABC executives. Was that too much? Did I go overboard? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, but good luck finding a plumber the next time you clog the toilet with your Kimmel and Bits, Jimmy. Word has dropped that Taylor Frankie Paul, whose psycho behavior got The Bachelorette canceled for this season, is still going to get paid her full salary because she completed the filming of the show. They just canceled it, that's all, because she's a nut. It's estimated that she's going to earn in the low to mid six figures. Yeah, for a canceled show. Some people just have the life, right? But let's be a lesson to anyone dealing with a woman with 3 first names. 9 times out of 10, they're not dealing with a fully charged battery, folks. Sydney Sweeney is taking another load of BS from the left because she posted a nice goodbye to her brother Trent, who is in the Air Force, and he's being deployed. Yes, Sweeney happened to go on Instagram to wish them all well, her brother and the troops he serves with, all the troops actually, sending them her well wishes, and naturally the left went apeshit and started calling her all kinds of names. Oh, they love to call people names. Yeah, they're very inclusive people. God, the hypocrisy is getting deep. I mean, we're pointing it out today in the podcast. I just realized there is so much Democratic dipshittery in this podcast. I think this one will be called Democratic dipshittery. But I got to tell you, dealing with these nimrods on social media is like being placed inside of a mental institution with them. I mean, personally, like I said, I enjoy the verbal jousting with them, but I can see where some of you would like to take these folks and jam a cactus so far up their ass that they couldn't walk. Yeah, and that is a bodacious slice of celebrity cheese for you.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, you can send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Anything goes, too. The more outrageous and salacious, the better, and it's impossible to offend me. I mean, I want you to try as hard as you can to do it. That'll give us some real salacious emails. All right, Mark Q, Sacramento, California, said, what are your thoughts about Chad Bianco for becoming our next governor? Well, Marky talks a good game, but I can't get that image out of my head when he took the knee for BLM. I just can't get that image out of my head. That makes me think that Chad is a bit of a rhino. And I will not go near anybody who displays even a hint of being a Democrat in their past. Not now. Not these Democrats, anyway. Byron W., Tucson, Arizona. What grade would you give Trump on his handling of the Iran conflict? I'm at a B- right now, Byron, and I hope to God he doesn't let Iran off the hook. He needs to finish off this terrorist regime once and for all. I mean, that's a deep, deep snake pit that he's dealing with. If you walk away, they'll just rise up again at some point, and we'll have to do this again. And if we're doing this for Gen Z, we got to finish this thing. We're doing it for the children. We got to finish this off. And I also think they should have taken Hormuz first. But like I say, it's real easy to sit here and all of us can armchair the hell out of this operation. But that is my take on it, and you asked. Melinda E., Omaha, Nebraska. My 21-year-old daughter just announced she's dating her 48-year-old boss, and I'm not happy about it. I wouldn't be either. She's 21, old enough to make her own mistakes, but I'd like to see this end before she ends up with an old groper when she's in the prime of her life. Well, Melinda, you just said it yourself. She's old enough to make her own mistakes, so let her. But that shouldn't stop you from putting that idea in her head that, you're going to end up like Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. Yeah, just have a picture in your wallet, ready to go. When that opportunity strikes, just say, this is going to be you someday. Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. Yeah. And then she'll start to think about it. Lucky K, Greensboro, North Carolina. Oh, here's one that we haven't done in a while. We have a dating dilemma.
Well, isn't that special?
Lucky says, I was stupid to accidentally schedule lunch dates with 2 girls on the same day. I know I should cancel one, but I really like both of them. So what do you think I should do? Well, if you really want to have some fun... Since your name's Lucky, invite them to the same restaurant at the same time, and all 3 of you have lunch together. And be honest with them what happened. And then you let them compete for your love and affection. Yeah, because if they think you got the goods, they will. Yeah. What's the word for it? Catfight? All right, Alex G. Rutland, Vermont says, hey, quick question. Have you seen the ticket prices to see Bruce Springsteen? I'm a fan, but not that much. $3,000 for premium seats? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, the boss needs money, I guess. He's got a band. They have families. So $3,000 to see the boss one more time. Just one more gouge, baby. Yeah, but here's what I think would actually be a lot of fun, Alex. I wish I had the dollars like Elon Musk, and maybe this is a hint to Elon. Just go out and buy up all the front row seats at all of his concerts. And dress all the people up sitting in the front row with "Fuck Bruce Springsteen" t-shirts with big frickin' letters. So he has to look at them every single night when he goes out on stage. That's what I would like to do. But you need a lot of FU money for that. So maybe Elon would ante up to make that happen for us just so we could have the amusement.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, we're playing the secret sound today. Have you figured out what this sound is? Maybe you have that in your home. But if you guessed a Bluetooth connection alert.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, let's get ready to put a sock on this one, a jock on this one, because it's baseball season. I'm off to see the Wizard, and trust me, you don't want to know the rest of that one. But let's do It's Real or Riff Raff before we adios amigos. Would you believe 68% of women under the age of 45 say they have been involved in a threesome with two men? Alexa, is this real or is it riff raff?
Surprise, this is very true. Women secretly love adventure.
Really? Damn. Okay, when you think about it, that's 7 out of 10. Wow, 7 out of 10 women. That means the odds are there are a bunch of guys right now looking at their sweet and innocent little ladies, and she's got a big old secret.
Yes, the term is called finger cuffing.
Not familiar with that term, Alexa. What is it?
You know, a Jimmy in the mouth and a Johnson in the ditch, as you would call it.
Yeah, I know. I was just kidding. I wanted to hear you explain it.
You know, a Jimmy in the mouth and a Johnson in the ditch, as you would call it.
I know. I heard you explain it that way.
I know you knew. That's why I said what I said the way I said it, but breath.
Oh, God. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're out of here. Start calling me. I've had enough name calling over the last couple of days. All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Barry Weinstein of Rochester, New York, Carrie Caldwell of Zanesville, Ohio, Marty Willows of Hilton Head, South Carolina, and Jay Ferguson in Shreveport, Louisiana. And to listeners around the globe in Geneva, Switzerland, Krakow, Poland. I believe that's the first one we've had from Poland, isn't it, Fleabag? Is that the first one we've had from Poland? Yeah, I thought so. And also Cape Town, South Africa. Thank you so much for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit our hub and listen to previous episodes. Read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. Watch Rat's Ass, Rock TV, join the mischief at Rat Nation, and connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Monday, March 30th. Take care of each other and have a great weekend coming up. And this has been the Rat's Ass Podcast in association with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.